Welcome back. It is Wednesday. It is qualifying time for this week's GP event. And we've got the Formula One Abu Dhabi Gp event. And make sure to check out the strategy guide which we gave you on Tuesday. That's yesterday for every single track. We've got Fernando Alonso boosted with Virtue and Typhoon. So some big parts, some big drivers. Alonso and Verstappen is what we're running, and Virtue and Typhoon both come in. We've got some crates to get Virtue up 3 or 4 levels. We got very lucky as well, so minimum spend, but some was needed. So, looking pretty good, and we're about to get this underway. Let's have a look what we have got this qualifying session. Abu Dhabi, 39 to 40 degrees. We've got Baku, Bahrain and Abu Dhabi as well. Let's say, fingers crossed, we can get some big points as we go hunting. Here we go then, race number 1. Welcome aboard. Make sure you do watch all the video. There is 4 tracks and you could learn something from all these tracks being raced. I'm interested to see where we qualify because of the bigger parts. 2 and 5, Fernando Alonso and Max Verstappen. Decent start. We are going to chuck on tuning, and Max Verstappen is going to go for Kawhi because he needs a bit of a race start kick. Now, the chances are we're going to do 2 laps on the soft for Alonso. We're going to do a 2-3-3 and a 3-3-2. 39 degrees. It is hot. Lights out and away we go, and Alonso does get a good start. And Verstappen just squeezing past Verstappen, now right behind Alonso, but he's already through, coming into the newly reshaped corner, and these two are away in front. P1 for Alonso, Max Verstappen P2. He leads the pack from the chasing Alonso's and Leclerc. But we settle down through the sweeping new bend, and the rival starts their push. So, how far can they push? We're okay for tyres at the moment, it doesn't look too bad. We're just going to look after power units a little bit though. Now, this rival will come past. There's no harm in there. We'll let them push. And it looks like we're actually okay to do 3 laps here. We might be okay to do 4 as well. The heat not affecting as much as I thought it would do. I generally thought it would be killing the tyres. And let's just see as we go through. I think we're just going to survive 3 laps, on these softs. We are not going to, or we could try and do 4 laps. Rival pits. We're going to try and come back. And I think I've messed this up actually. I think I've actually messed this strategy up. We're going to come back for some mediums. We're going to go back to the 3-3-2. Let's just try and get through, shall we? We're going to stick them both on the same strategy here. We should have pitted. We've kind of ruined it. So Alonso will come in. He's got tuning anyway. So some early race messes up, let's say, here. But we've got good power unit. And we've got Alonso already back out. So let's see what we can snatch back. Rivals on hards. You can see his rival coming back down the outside now. Can we get ahead? Yes, we can. We're up to P4. So let's try and focus. Bit of a mistake there already. Not a great race for you to watch, first of all. But it's all good. We're back into P1 and P3. And these two are going to go and do a soft run. First lap, it didn't seem to affect us as much. But it certainly has on the second and third lap. So that's why we're in the situation we are in. Verstappen, P2. Rivals looking short on tyres now as well. But reason for the boosts. Max Verstappen needs a race start boost, so he goes on to Kawhi. Because of our cornering being at around 200, we don't want to take anything more than 20 because the max is 220. So we've took tuning because Alonso doesn't need a race start boost. So less speed, less cornering, and some pit boost as well, which usually helps. So lap 6, we're going to come back for the softs. Will be good this time. And good for Verstappen. Rivals on the hards. I doubt they'll be able to do 4 laps, but I mean 5 laps, isn't it, that they're doing? So be very surprised at that. We're going to boost both. 7 seconds is the gap. So this little bit of a drama pit stop mess up, following a Ferrari strategy quite clearly, has put us into this position when we didn't have to make it as hard as it is. Good stop by Alonso. He comes back out. And Rival coming out. So Rival will pit at the end of this lap. They can't do another one. Alonso's back into P1. So we did do the 3-3-2. We just did it in a different way. 1.5 laps to go to get 47 points on the board straight away. This will be a good start. Max Verstappen closing down this hard tyre, who will pit. You can see we're well in the gap now. Rival, is he pushing? No, not quite. And that Rival does carry on. So that Rival putting us under a little bit of pressure, but we should be able to catch them, no problem at all. They're going to run out of tyres, surely. So we will just... I mean, they did do a 3-5 then. Didn't take the weather into account. And they are about to run out of tyres. No panic stations. Everyone, it will be okay. Because they are now out of tyres. And we do take P1 for Fernando Alonso at the Abu Dhabi Gp. And Max Verstappen coming home in P2. We messed up the strategy, but we made it through in the end. 47 points is the way we start this GP. And let's just show you this matchup. It was in our favour. 1707 versus 1665. And level 8, level 7 versus 2 level 7s. And the car wasn't extremely far behind at all. Race number 2 at Baku then from Azerbaijan. And a rival who is just slightly higher on team score than us by around 22. So this will be an interesting match. Let's see if we can make the difference. And we've got 2 cars ahead already. So we've just got to focus on beating that Fernando Alonso out of the rival. So Max Verstappen needs a race start. So we're going to go Kawhi. And Alonso I'm going to do tuning again. Now it just seems to be the best boost for him, which is always learning for us. So hard tyres for the rival out front. That is really good news because we can make early chances. Lights out and away we go. And Alonso is in to lead early. Verstappen P5, not got the best start in the world, but that hard tyre rival is going to help us catch back up. But still plenty to play for in this race, and you can see we're struggling at the moment to get past Lewis Hamilton and the Red Bull, who are fighting each other, and this is absolutely costing us. Can we get a position? We can now. So we're on the back foot nice and early. Rival's going to do 4 laps on them hards. They're going to 1-stop as well, so we've got to try and claw this back. We're potentially going for a 2-stop. We're using a lot of power unit early. We'll lose that rival, but we're going to try and come back. So we're going to get ourselves in the pits. Hopefully we can get past Hamilton this time, and we can. So we're just going to have to use a bit of power unit here. Where is the rival? There he is. So he's in sight, but can we claw back? Alonso will come in this lap, and all the time we're closing on the rival. That's his big race needed here. We've got Alonso coming back out of the pits, and they are through. P2 will get him back into the lead. And then we're going to have to probably conserve to a 2-stop here. I think it's going to be the best way. This rival's going to be so slow. And Verstappen will have a quicker pit stop as well. So away we go. And big laps ahead for us here. Rival's back in P9. And it's going to be what we can do on this soft tyre is going to make or break us. He goes around again. So Alonso's got net position here. Verstappen coming back out needs P3 alone. And he does get P3 alone. We're going to push him very hard now. We've got to catch back up to this hard tyre and pass, because they're going to push as well. We're closing. They are going to be super slow, and we're closing all the time. We are trying our very best here, folks. And down the straight we go. Rival just about to come into the pit, so this is not looking too bad. Out comes Fernando Alonso. Through goes Verstappen. We're going to keep pushing. It's going to be a very quick pit stop. And we are up against it. Mediums for the rival. They'll be pushing too. We're trying to push at every opportunity here. This is a big, big lapse. And we're still going. We're still using all of this power unit when we can. And we're going to come into the pits now. Quick pit stop will be the case. And we've got a decent gap. It's the length of the straight. Can we come out ahead? Here he comes, Verstappen. And it looks like we're going to grab the second place. We are going to overcome at the moment. But rival's going to be pushing. Keep confident. Try and gain some power unit back. You can see them now pushing. Still got quite a bit of power unit left, this rival as well. But we are on the softs. That will be our bonus. And here he comes. Conserve down the straight. Let him use all his power unit up. And it will run out now. And then we will push ourselves. That should see us through. We'll push Verstappen. Traffic nowhere near. So have we come through in this race and taken a very important victory against a slightly inferior rival? It is looking that way. We've pulled clear on the last 2 laps. And it will be Fernando Alonso stretching clear with Max Verstappen home in P2. And that is a very good race, a very good overcome, especially when the rival does a one-stop. Because if you don't get the good start like we did, or we didn't, it makes it tough. But we're through. 1707 versus 1729. You can see level 8 Alonso with level 8 Norris. And the car was exactly the same apart from an extra virtue and a less vector. So very interesting, but we do manage to squeak. Race number 3 gives us an even worse matchup. 1779. So 72 ahead. We have had it all today so far. One in our favour, one just out of favour, and this one very much out of favour. P5 look, P7 from our normal positions. That is killer. So we're going to try tune in. We're going to have to go both for a 2-stop here, I believe. And we're going to go on to softs. So we need a big push early on. We've got to hope for bad strategy. Hards is a bad strategy from the rival. That will help us. We need to get the good start. Can we get the good start? It's perfect, but we need a good lunge by Alonso or somebody. And we're not going to get it, or are we? Well, we're going to make some ground. We're into P3, round the outside of the Red Bull to take P2. This Red Bull of Alonso will come back at us shortly, but we are currently in to P1 and P3. So you can see now the rival starting to push. We're going to push and counter that, but we are going to run out of power unit a lot quicker. You can see the speed difference in the car behind, catching us all the time. We're going to try and keep on behind. Alonso, can he still keep him behind? Yes, he can. This is great play by Fernando Alonso. Still keeping him. Whilst Verstappen claims as much power unit as he can. And we're still... How has he got through? He ran out of power unit and he still got us. How does that work? Can we get back past though? Not yet, we can't. Into the straight. We're going to have to put some speed on in a minute because we're in potential double stack range. Let's push Verstappen here. Let's not. Let's push. We're getting confused about who to push. We're going to settle with Alonso. We're going to conserve with Verstappen. And I think Verstappen... We can get through now. We are going to overcut. We're going to try. This might be painful, you know. We need a quick pit stop. Oh, we've got it. We've got it. That's what we needed. And you can see Alonso back out in P1 by not taking... Oh, brilliant exit by Verstappen as well. We've got so much power unit to waste now. We need to start hunting down these, and we are ahead into P4. Can we get Verstappen P3? Yes, we can. And that will be the push for now. We are net ahead. We will probably do one more lap for Alonso and come back for mediums, because he is looking good out front. And we don't want to double stack again. So Verstappen does get into P2. Let's do that now. So we've got a good chance. We could probably go softs actually to the end here. We are going to do that. We are going to go 3-lap chill softs. Alonso should be good. Verstappen's got 100% power unit. He is all good in the hood. As Alonso does come in, we took the quick pit stop. Let's hope that helps us. And Verstappen looking good as well. Could have probably gone softs, but back out we come. Rival will have to pit still, but we get a good, nice exit out. And we are already approaching the back of that car in front. We've been a bit undecisive today, but we might just manage this. Our pit strategies haven't been ideal, but they've been good enough. Down the straight, back straight we go. We start 2 laps to go. Verstappen is in. Rival carries on. And we're all good on tyres for Alonso. Verstappen's out in P3. And we just got to mind this gap. So it's only 5.9 seconds with the rivals still to pit. We're trying to close that all the time. We are on the softs. That's the bonus against the mediums. That gap now 4.8. So we've had our troubles. We've had our fun. And we start the last lap with the rival in the pits. So looks like we have overcome a difficult matchup, with the rival back in P3 and P4. We've done it. That is what we want to see. Give yourself a round of applause for believing in us. Because Alonso and Verstappen are going to come home to lead another 1-2 in this qualifying session. And that is exactly what we need. Alonso goes P1. Max Verstappen P2. 47 points is what we need. And let's take a look at what this rival ran. They must have been running maxed out. Must have been 1779. Let's have a look. Level 8 Verstappen. Level 8 Alonso. And yeah, level 8 Virtue. Yeah, 197 over 204. So pretty tough. Here we go then, race number 4. And as always, let me know how you've got on in qualifying. Are you scoring your best points? There's some big parts and a big driver on offer this week. So let's see if we can. We should get... we've got a very nice matchup. And for anyone wondering, we are using tuning because of our max cornering. And by max cornering, I tend to mean... Oh no, Max Verstappen needs a race start, doesn't he? Basically, your total stat can't go over 220. We are at 201, so there's no point me taking something like Merlin on, because we'll actually be over. It'd be a waste. So that's why we're taking tuning, because it still gives me 15, so it gives me 216 altogether. And it importantly gets speed and pit time. But we're already away. And we're already into P1 and P2. It's as if they already knew what was happening. A cheeky matchup with a bot from our Mexican/North America, South American clubs over in that regions. So we'll take that all day long. And it's a good one as well. P11, P15 for the rival. So that should see us nicely. I do believe there is no safety cars as well. They are currently not in the game until the next update, whenever that will be. So shouldn't have any impacts. As we've got Alonso leading from Max Verstappen in second, from Max Verstappen in third. There is no Max Verstappen in fourth, you'll be glad to know. So luckily, we're all good. We should be able to get this nicely done. It'll be a very important 188, that is for certain. Max Verstappen's lost out to Max though. Is Max running the softs? He is. That'll be why. And we're going to do this 3-3-2 and a 4-4. So we'll pit with Alonso. And we'll carry on round with Verstappen, just closing that gap all the time when we can. And then we will burn some fuel and get on the back of Max Verstappen. Already quite close to him as we come through the section. And we'll pit with Alonso then. So good stint, nice and easy for Fernando. Max will pit as well. That will leave Max Verstappen ourselves into P1. He'll be coming in at the end of this lap. And Alonso coming out in clear air as well. Things you love to see. So P1 and P2 still well on our way. Look at that beautiful livery. Doing wonders at the circuit of Abu Dhabi. That is what we want. Give you some cinematic views. Look at that. It's enough to get you dizzy. Well, let's get out of that. Hey, let's get back to normal camera angle. Max Verstappen's in for his one stop. Alonso carries on round and he'll be doing and pitting. I mean, there you go. I can finally zoom out properly. I couldn't zoom out. So, 3 laps to go after this one. We've surely got the minerals for victory here. And that is exactly what we need as we come round the hairpin. Verstappen still getting chased now by the Mercedes and the Red Bull behind. So just got to be cautious on that one. We haven't got a pit though. And to be fair, the rest of the field do. So we should be good. Alonso starts lap 6. We'll get him in the softs. So some difficult rivals. It's balanced out. 2 in favour, 2 out of favour. So that is what I would classify as balanced matchmaking. We obviously don't want a player that's 70 something ahead of us, but we've also got players that are well below 70 below us. So it has matched itself out as Alonso does pit. And Verstappen, 2 laps to go. Who's going to win, Alonso or Verstappen? That would be an interesting team rival, wouldn't it? Putting Alonso with Verstappen, maybe next year Red Bull, who knows? That'd be very interesting to see what Alonso can do. So, rivals back out. And it's looking good at the minute. Just cruising. They're both together. There is a car behind us, which is Max Verstappen, which will be coming into the pits this lap. There is no extreme heat here. And we're going to be good. It's last lap time at Abu Dhabi. And we can now go ahead and score some points. Some 47 points and 188 qualifying. Which could probably go all down the drain on Saturday like it did last week. It is going to be a back-to-back perfect qualifying. But we know not to count them chickens just yet. That is sure. Never count them chickens. You never know what's going to happen. But we do know what's happening today. Max Verstappen rounds the final corner from Fernando Alonso. And we do take a beautiful P1, P2 at the curtain closer on the F1 calendar this year, Abu Dhabi. Brilliant qualifying session to start off with. And now we await the rival to finish to show you that in favour matchup. Many of you wanted to see the debrief screens after each race, so by now you will always get that. I always listen to your feedback. 1583. So you can see why I wasn't moaning at the really high one. That is 124 ahead. And you can see there, level 8, level 6. And yeah, car was well in our favour. So a very unfair matchup. Good job it wasn't the real player themselves, because that would have been very cruel. But qualifying is done. It is 188 points to take through with us to Saturday, the opening round. 4 lots of 47. Not sure if that fast lap even matters at this stage. I don't believe it does. But that is a very good qualifying session, done and dusted. I really appreciate you watching. Make sure to reach out to us. Keep your comments coming down below, and let's build that community.